Howdy y'all.
Hi guys.
It's Ryan.
And Angela.
From R&A Music.
That's right.
Deep
Ooh.
in the heart of Texas. That's where we are.
Right
I
here.
got a shirt. Your favorite mom and pop music lessons studio and part-time guitar shop.
Yay.
And we're here to answer all y'all's questions with another episode of Ask R&A. Yeah! Let's get to it.
Okay.
Welcome back. It's Ask R&A time.
Yes, it is.
Angela and I have a little guitar shop, small music store.
Yep.
Lesson studio, deep in the heart of a small town, Texas town.
Yeah.
And we're here to answer questions.
That's all we do.
Yeah, from all over the world.
People all over the world.
People all over the world ask us questions about stuff and things, and we answer, which is what we're about to do right now.
Okay.
So, welcome back to all of our regular viewers, and if you're new here, hey, go ahead and subscribe. You'll like it, and yeah, it'll be great.
When we do them.
You'll be glad when we get around to actually making videos. You'll be
Glad you
entertained.
stuck around.
You'll be entertained for sure. If you want some swaggity swag, not this, but R&A Music swaggy swag, links down in the description. You can get an R&A Music t-shirt or a cuppy cup or some socks or leggings or any of that stuff. Go do that. Small business support.
Yes.
You know, that good stuff. Let's get to the questions. All right. Welcome back, Angela.
Welcome back, Ryan.
It's good to be back.
It
All
is.
right. First question for Ask R&A episode 361.
Ooh, nice. That's a good number.
Sinner's Dwarf, all the way from the England Shire, wants to know, are you excited to see the return of the Wolverine in Deadpool 3?
Ooh.
Question mark. Yes, I am. I'm not excited to see, Deadpool.
No.
But I'm excited to see Hugh Jackman.
I guess.
Huge Jackman.
I guess.
You know, I just watched Logan the other day for I
Yeah.
don't know why, but I was, let me watch this again. So, I like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, even though he's not short enough or stocky enough to actually be Wolverine.
Right.
He has completely the wrong body type to
Yes.
play Wolverine,
Yes.
but I liked him as the Wolverine, so
Sure.
it'll be interesting to see what they do, I think. And Ryan Reynolds has been trying to get Hugh Jackman to do a Wolverine thing with him for forever.
Right.
Ever since the first Deadpool, so...
Well, since they were in
Well, they were in Origins.
Origins,
Right.
as you know, and he was like this abomination Deadpool type thing.
It was a horrible Deadpool.
Yeah.
But since they rebooted Deadpool, and it did a good job of it, I guess,
Yes.
he's been dying to get back to doing stuff with Hugh Jackman. They seem to have really good chemistry together, like in interviews and things. So I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see. We will see what happens. Are you guys and girls excited to see Huge Jackman return as the Wolverine? Another movie. Tell us down below.
There you go.
Why or why not? Explain why or why not. All right. Thank you, Sinner's Dwarf. Next question, Brian Strasser. Would you rather have some notoriety and benefits while you are alive, only to be forgotten in time, or to have a humble life and be remembered positively for eternity? Why have the wine barrel guitars or scratch and sniff? Hashtag wood does matter. Hashtag all woods matter.
Yes.
Oh, good question.
Yeah, it is. That was good.
What do you want, Miss Angela?
Would you rather
Mrs.
have the notoriety and benefits while you are alive,
Of that
or
notoriety.
only be forgotten, or have humble life remembered positively for eternity? I don't think anyone's ever truly forgotten. I really don't think that's true. So, unless that is the mindset, like, for a new way of thinking, like, you just happen to be just forgotten, you know? So I would go for the notoriety and benefits while I'm alive, because then I could probably I guess it just depends on how it benefits my children. Because I don't really necessarily care for me. I would be setting it up for future generations so that I can have generational wealth and security. So that's how I would choose. Whatever would help that would benefit that. I guess maybe the humble life, because I don't necessarily need to be remembered right now. I don't need to be remembered like, I don't care if people know who I am. Really. I mean, the people who know who I am that matter know who I am. So, you know what I'm saying?
So which one are you picking?
I don't know. That's hard. I think I would like the humble life because I really don't like a lot of attention right now. Like I don't like being at the center of attention. So I think a humble life and and be remembered positively for forever. Like people will always know. Like it would go in. But then is that humble that people will remember you for eternity?
Right.
I mean, is that humble?
I think a humble life means
humility?
like, you know, not wealthy or not whatever you do.
I mean, as long as I'm comfortable and, you know, I would rather be remembered as someone who was loving and who cared about people more than I would notoriety. Because I think notoriety spoils people. And by spoiling, I mean, it means it makes them rotten to the core. I think a lot of people, whether they admit it or not, I think it destroys people after a certain bit. You're going to pick notoriety, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm. I can see that about you.
Yeah. I'd rather
Not in a
have
bad way, but
notoriety and
good, but-
benefits. The benefits of that while I'm alive. Because number one, everyone's going to be forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can't tell you the name of my great-great-grandfather. So if I don't even know the name...
That doesn't necessarily mean that he was forgotten, like... Because somebody remembers him.
Who?
There could be people that have been impacted by his life that you don't even know of. So that doesn't, just because you personally don't know him.
Well, that doesn't mean he wasn't an
forgotten.
impact, but people don't remember him.
Right.
I'm just saying, almost everybody, give it about 5 generations and nobody remembers anybody. Unless you were
that's still
famous.
not,
like we remember Beethoven.
There are people's names that are written down in books that have lasted forever. We know who tons of people are that have over 2,000 years later.
Tons? Millions
Yes.
of people?
There weren't probably that many people to begin with back then. But I think there are a lot of people that were remembered 200 years later, 300 years later, just common people that had humble beginnings, but they were remembered. That doesn't make any sense. Will you be remembered or will you not be remembered? People are going to be remembered no matter, in some form or fashion, unless you just live just in obscurity. But yeah, I don't know.
I think 99% of people are forgotten after a few generations.
I don't think 99% of people are forgotten. That doesn't make any sense. that means like literally everybody in history books are make believe.
No, I said not. You know, how many? 7 billion people?
Out of 7 billion currently,
Yeah,
that's not how it was back. Anyways,
I'm just telling you what I think. You can disagree with me. It's fine. I don't mind.
Is it though? Obviously, it's not okay if I disagree with you.
Is it not?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm just telling you what I think.
Yeah.
Sharing my feelings.
No, I believe that I think most people will be remembered for, for a while, especially if you do stuff to be remembered. If you write journals down, if you write things down, if you don't take time to be remembered, then you won't be remembered. It doesn't mean you have notoriety. It just means that you took the time to actually, be remembered.
What do you guys think? Which would you rather have? Notoriety and the benefits of it and be forgotten eventually in time, or not have much, but be remembered positively for all eternity? It's a great question, Brian. Thanks for the question.
Yep.
Obvious disagreement. Oh,
Yeah.
what?
What if wine barrel guitars were scratch and sniff?
Then that would be interesting.
That would be very interesting.
I thought that was a rhetorical question on there,
But still.
Thank you, Brian. Next question. Fat Philosopher, all the way from Japan. Hashtag all wood matters. Thoughts on the layoffs at Fender? How big is your staff? Angela, have you ever been tempted to fire Ryan?
Just now.
Just now. We've already talked about the layoffs at Fender. That was a couple of weeks back. So we chatted about that a couple of weeks, so I don't want to go rehash that necessarily. How big is your staff? 2. Staff of 2. We say this mom and pop guitar shop, and that's we're not We're not being funny about that. It literally is us.
Yeah, that's it.
It's literally the two of us.
And Nicholas volunteers every once in a while his time to help us out, but very rarely. It's just, and he's not a staff member. He's not an employee.
Just starts time.
He doesn't have a paycheck. He just comes up here.
It's like when I go help my dad with stuff. It's like I'm not on the payroll. I just help my dad because he needs it.
Yeah.
Or my mom or whatever. You ever been tempted to fire me?
Yes.
How many times?
Daily.
Yes. What stops you from firing me?
It's too much paperwork.
Lawsuits.
Yes.
Have to divide up the company.
Yes. No, I've never been tempted to fire Ryan.
Defer. Been tempted to fur me?
No, this is his baby, so.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think you can fire me. Technically.
No.
That's the thing.
This is his thing.
Yeah.
So.
There you go.
I'm just here to look cute.
Yeah. Technically, I'm the boss. I'm the CEO.
Yeah.
Have I ever been tempted to fire you?
No.
No. I have not.
Not once.
I have not been tempted to ever fire Angela. Have I ever been tempted to quit?
Quit? Maybe. Maybe at the beginning.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't think it was like, oh my gosh, I can't stand this. I don't think you've ever really felt that way.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I really enjoy this.
Yeah.
You know, we got back to work this Monday, the first day back from our weekend away and funerals and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I was really excited to teach lessons.
Yeah. It was nice getting back to the groove and seeing everybody and...
Yeah, I was pretty like, all right, let's go.
I think we've always had that mindset, though, that we've always been like, this is a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, this is something that not a lot of people get to do and actually make a living and not feel like, I'm not, you know, how are we going to pay the bills? I mean, we still think that. But it's only because of mismanagement. It has nothing to do with me. But we are, you know, we're really good at understanding how blessed we are to have this opportunity because it's a great gig.
Yeah. Oh no, I was super like.
So I think that's how it's always been.
I was in a really good mood teaching on Monday, so I was like, man, just happy and excited to be back. So, all right, there you go. Thanks for the questions, Fat Philosopher. Next question, Sinner's Dwarf again with another question. Thank you, Sinner's Dwarf. Are you tired of seeing the Boss Katana Mark II advert on every guitar video? I know I am. I'm not sure what you mean. I was like, are you talking about like, you know, commercials, YouTube commercials, or their advertisements for the Boss?
An algorithm, bud.
Yeah. Well, I never see those because I don't see any commercials. I see no ads on my YouTube. So, and I gotta say, after going for years and years and years with commercials and stuff, to me, the YouTube Premium is worth it because I use YouTube every single day, not just for my own enjoyment, but like if I have a kid who wants to learn a song, I'm like, oh, let me pull it up real quick. The quickest and the easiest thing for me to do is just type the name of the song into YouTube, pulls up the song, and I can listen to it, and we can go over or talk about it or whatever. And I hated pulling up stuff, and then I have to sit like through an advertisement.
Yes, because after a while, whenever you refuse to get the premium, sometimes they'll start playing very inappropriate commercials or movie credits or something, and you have little kids sitting there, and you're like, YouTube, really? I'm trying to listen to A Whole New World from Little Mermaid, and I just saw a Trojan commercial, and there's a 5-year-old sitting here. Give me a break. So yeah, we don't usually get the.
So for me, it's been great. I don't get any advertisements, and now that I think I got like a 30-day trial, free, try it, premium treat. I'm like, yeah, I'll try it, and I was like, worth it.
Yes.
Worth it 100%. So, all right, thank you, Sinner's Dwarf. Yeah, you should. Everybody should try the YouTube Premium for like a month and see what you think.
It's like $14, $15, something like that.
It's not even that much. I think it's less. It's like $12 maybe. Huh? Yeah. Well, maybe I get a special deal. Maybe. Because I'm on the old plan. I don't know. All right. Thank you, Sinner's Dwarf. Next question. Just Fun Guitar. Hashtag all would admitter.
I mean, I've heard of both.
Yeah, me too. My brain has not worked quite correctly today.
We're getting back to the groove.
Back to the group. Hashtag all wood matters. My favorite gig was playing at my wedding in front of so many people I love. Aww.
That's nice.
Nice. I said, I don't believe in tone wood outside of hollow body guitars, and even then it's very subjective. I'd be a villain all day with my powers. Watch out. New questions. 1, what is the loudest animal in Texas? 2, do you like 5-string bass? Back with the animal questions. So excited.
Yes.
What is the loudest animal in Texas? Well, I had Angela Google it. Angela Google it.
Yep.
But before we get to Google's answer, I'll just tell you what
our thoughts were.
What were your thoughts?
I thought it was either a donkey or mule of some kind.
It was pretty loud.
It was like, it's real loud. Or the guinea hens. Because they have that real loud, kind of echoey cluck.
Yeah.
I guess that's
like
what you would call them. Yes, and they're really loud. But again,
Turkeys
I've heard them in gatherings, not really one. But donkey, yes, can be very, very loud.
I was going to say our German Shepherd.
Yeah.
She starts howling. As soon as the police sirens or fire department sirens go by, she starts howling. I'm like, that's pretty loud in my ears right here. Thank you. My initial thought was maybe like mountain lions, because mountain lions are pretty loud. If you hear them screaming, it's like, what? What's that?
Yeah, they do sound like they're being murdered.
And they're kind of far away. And I'm like, if that was that loud from that far away, I wonder how loud it is up close.
Yeah.
Cows can be pretty loud.
Yeah.
The donkey was a good one.
Yeah.
Donkeys are pretty
At
loud.
my cousin's wedding, they had one in the field because it was an outside wedding. And during their vows, it kept braying like over and over and over again. It was funny.
Yeah, well, that was not well thought out.
No, it wasn't.
All right, so that was our thoughts. What did Google tell you?
It said that it was a, let me look at it again, loudest animal in Texas, a chachalaca.
Chachalaca.
Yes.
It's a bird?
Chachalaca. Yes, it is a bird. It is, typically occurs in small groups of 3 to 5. In thickets around the Rio Grande.
South Texas.
Yeah, they're South Texans, but apparently they're pretty loud.
Yeah.
It doesn't say what the decibel is or how far people can hear them.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
What was the second one?
The second one was what we have, grackles.
Grackles.
It's another bird. It almost looks like a brown crow. It has a, grackles are loud. We have them all around, and they are around our
Walmart.
Picture. Yes, our grocery stores and
They're
parking
hanging
lots.
out in parking lots. Grackles. I never knew what they were called. I was like, a grackle. I'm like, what the crap is a grackle?
But they sound like car alarms going off. They'll have like that. Boop, 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 boop.
Those are pretty loud.
Silence.
And you don't realize it's next to you until it starts to call, and then it's almost like it's startling because you think a car alarm's going off, but it's really just a little bitty bird in the parking lot eating McDonald's French fries
off the ground. I could see like if you had like a whole flock of them, would be crazy loud.
Gosh,
but I was like, is a single one of those really louder than a donkey?
Yeah,
You're standing
I don't
next
know.
to one, but great question. Do I like 5-string bass? Yes, I do like 5-string basses. What's my first? Well, my first bass was a 4-string, long time ago. I don't even have it anymore because I think I sold it. But I'm a big fan of the 5-string basses because I just like options. And to me, a 5-string bass is not really that weird to get used to, and it's definitely not as weird as a 7-string guitar is in a way. Even though it's the same string and note on a 5-string bass as you get on a 7-string guitar, that low B. But I'm like, I don't find that to be awkward at all. I gotta turn the air off because it just kicked on. So it's gonna be freaking loud.
Freaking loud.
Freaking loud. Grackles.
I'm sure we can go to Walmart like right now and there'll be some in the trees.
I do like 5-string basses. And I got Nicholas a 5-string bass. I think his first bass was a 5-string.
I think so.
Yeah, 5-string basses are great. I did eventually get myself a 4-string because a lot of my bass students, majority of my bass students have 4-string basses. But when I'm using a 5 and they're playing a 4, it gets confusing. Just because, if I'm playing, I'm playing on the E string, right, which is my 4th string. Visually, it looks like I'm on my next to my lowest string. So on a 4-string, even though that's the 4th string,
right.
Something about being that visually it's just weird. It's just awkward when you're teaching someone and they have a 4 and you have a 5 for it to sort of click. It gets weird. They'd always play their 3rd string while I was playing my 4th string because they saw I was next to the lowest string.
Right.
So I only own 1 bass right now. Nicholas has several basses, and he has a couple of 5-strings. Nicholas has 2 5-strings. Our son, Nicholas. And I have 1 4-string, but I only got a 4-string really for teaching lessons.
Right.
If I was going to get one just for myself for everyday playing and recording and stuff, I would totally get a 5 for myself. But I do like 5-strings. Great question. And that brings us to comment of the day.
Yay!
Comment.
Comment of the day. Comment of the day. Yeah.
Comment of the day. This is where Angela and I make up a song on the spot using comments from you guys and girls from the last video. Man, it's been a while since we've done this.
Yes, it has.
It's been a couple of weeks. I don't even. I have no idea. But we're gonna do it anyways.
Okay.
I'm gonna play something. Angela's gonna sing something that you guys wrote. You guys wrote the lyrics. We just play the music. Here we go.
Okay.
Bitter basement.
Basement.
Bitter bassman.
Yes.
All right. I don't know. I like that one. It's hashtag all wood matters. Hashtag hungry. Hashtag I really don't like PRS. Hashtag Schecter guitars. Hashtag bitter bassman. It's a song of hashtags. The song of the hashtags. Thank you, Mr. Wilson, with the P bass. You got me with hashtag bitter bassman. I was like, all right. We're gonna give Paul some love.
Yep.
Just give him a little shout out for the
P Diddy.
Polly Dog. Polly
Wally
Doodle all day. Do we have other great nicknames for Paul?
No. I
No?
think that's it.
Nothing that we could say on camera?
Right.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Wilson with a P bass. Man. Words. Final question.
Yay!
Man. Jeffrey Egan. Hashtag. There's probably one in there somewhere.
Yep.
Now to drums. We're talking about tone woods and guitars and stuff.
Okay.
So now to drums. I'm guessing you've played a few different drum sets. What makes you want a certain kit, brand, looks, sound? Since I am not a drummer, I associate drum kits with famous players like Phil Rudd. So I like Phil Rudd, so I always wanted a Sonar kit. Also found John Bonham played Gretsch drums, so maybe I want those. Ludwig has always been popular too. Never cared for the sound of Pearl drums. Always sounded too thin to me. So how much of a drum sound depends on the manufacturer or in how you tune them? Do the heads make more of a difference? People want to know. Hashtag KTMA. Hashtag hungry. Hashtag
Currently.
anti-heroes forever. Okay, drums. Right. Bonham actually played Ludwig's too.
Yeah.
He had some Ludwig kits as well. All right. I have played a lot of different kits in my life. What makes me want one? Well,
I remember when we first started dating till when we first got married, it was all about drums for a while there. There was like this little stitch of time that he was really concentrating more on drums because I guess you were playing for like people. You were more of a drummer for people instead of a guitar player. You didn't start doing that until after you left college.
I was playing drum set more often
and
for other
so
people.
There was a lot of drum videos being played almost daily. And looking at drum things, going to Guitar Center and sitting in the drum room and trying out all different types of drums. And so I think this is an interesting question because it kind of triggered me just a little bit of our first couple years.
Triggered in a good way?
I was like, oh my God. It was like constant. It was constant drums. And well... I mean, for you, yes, in a good way, which was fine. So it'll be interesting to hear you talk about it because you don't usually ever talk really about drums and drumming and your like for and your knowledge of them, which you do. You have a lot of knowledge.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny because I mean, for as long as we've had R&E music, for sure. I mean, I've taught drums from the beginning, and I was a percussion major in college, and I played drums in a band and like. Jazz band, playing drums, drumline stuff, gospel stuff, rock stuff. So, yeah, I'm sure the majority of people watching it think of me as like a guitar player,
right?
And I am one.
You are one.
I'm a multi-instrumentalist.
Yes, you are.
Is the thing I always forget that. I'm like, well, I'm not really a guitarist. I'm not really a drummer. I'm a multi-instrumentalist. So, well. Looks for sure. Like I've always wanted a DW kit. Because I remember going into a Guitar Center, back forever ago, 10,000 years ago, and they had this trans black oil finish. So it wasn't the shiny. It was like the matte finished, transparent black. You could see the grain of the wood. DW kit, and like the hardware was powder coated black, and it was just like, oh, that's awesome. And I always see DW as like the PRS of drums, right? Because you had the big boys. Drums are funny because the big American brands that have been around, like the Fenders and the Gibsons of drums, are really kind of irrelevant today.
Yeah.
It's just like Ludwig. What was the other big American brand? There was besides Ludwig, what was the other one? Not Gretsch. Gretsch was one of the early brands, but the other one is slipping my brain. Slingerland. I mean, the brands that you would think would be the powerhouses of today are really not the powerhouse companies.
Right.
Drum-wise. The biggest drum companies in the world are Japanese. You got Pearl and Tama, who are the two big. Pearl and Tama is Gibson and Fender.
Okay.
And then DW is kind of would be like PRS. And then you've got everybody else. I've always kind of been a Pearl guy because when I was in school, that's what we played. Our marching drums were Pearl kits. Our drum set we used, we had a CB700, which was the crap stuff. But then eventually we got a Pearl kit. And so I like Pearl drums. And when I got a nice kit, my first kit was a no-name brand, Max Tone. Which I come to find out, I think it was like rejected shells that should have been Tama's, but they were like whatever, so they rebranded them. Yeah. But my first really good kit, which I still have, is a Pearl kit. And I've just kind of always liked Pearl, I think because of my formative years. Like I had a buddy, Charlie. Charlie was like 8 years older than me, but he loved Ludwig. But when he was in school as a kid, they played Ludwig drums. And then his drum heroes played Ludwig, so that was his thing. And he loved Paiste cymbals because everybody he loved, Alex Van Halen, all these guys played Paiste cymbals. And at my school, it was Zildjian and Pearl, so that's what I got used to, so that's what I like. So I do kind of, looks are number one. Same thing, looks looks are number one. I guess that'll get your attention. And then from there, let's see, what was it? Brand, looks. Well, maybe it's brand. Maybe brand first, and then looks. And from there, it's like wood. It's funny because we're talking about tone wood. Doesn't matter. It absolutely matters in drums. Mm-hmm. You know, birch shells sound different from maple shells, sound different from brass shells. A brass snare drum and a maple snare drum do not sound the same.
This is
and acrylic shells.
A lot of conversations he would try to, you know.
Let me explain something to you about drums, babe.
Inflame my heart to understand the difference, the significance of birch and maple. See the way this looks? See the way this? Can you hear the difference?
It resonates differently.
Yes, I believe you.
And then what's the angle of the bearing edge? Because that makes, you know, how many plies? Is it 6 ply maple? Is it 4 ply maple? Is it 8 ply maple? What's the, you know, how many plies is the bass drum? You know, you can, just like you can nerd out on guitar stuff, you can nerd out on drum stuff. Heads do make a huge difference. You can take a
loudest animal in Texas.
Loudest animal in Texas, probably Texas trucks. I would suggest. You can take a kind of an average mediocre kit and put some really good drum heads on it and tune it correctly, and it can sound pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, so that heads do make a difference for sure. Most drums, especially, same thing like with guitars, more budget friendly, you know, drums, they don't have the best heads.
Right.
So one of the first things you kind of want to do when you get a more budget friendly kit is immediately replace the heads with higher quality drum heads, different plies, things like that. So it makes a big difference. As far as manufacturer, it doesn't really make that much of a difference, I don't think. Because you can get a maple kit from Tama, you get a maple kit from Pearl, you get a maple kit from DW. You know, if they're built, they're all 6 ply maple shells, you know, certain sizes. I don't think the manufacturer sound doesn't matter as much on the manufacturer. It's more about quality and consistency, kind of like with guitars. I guess, so.
I can see that.
Yeah, heads do make a difference. How you tune them makes a big difference in how they sound. Because that's one thing you do have. Well, on guitar you do. You can tune it. I'm in E flat. I'm in drop D. Well, you can tune your drums to be lower or higher, and get different sounds out of how you tune them. So there's a lot of variables to it. Dang, Carter was full. I forgot we still had the Ask RNA from 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Stupid camera. My God. One of these days, I'll either send this one in to be refurbed, or we'll just get another camera.
Right.
Stinking cameras. All right. Hope that was answered your drum questions, Jeffrey. You think I'd have way more drum content than I do, but
that's okay. One of these days you will.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like there was always a tug of war in my heart. I started on drums first, 6th grade drums. Yeah. I didn't get into guitar till like the end of 8th grade. So between 8th grade and 9th grade. And then as soon as I started playing guitar seriously, it was always back and forth. I'd play my guitar for a couple of weeks, and then I'd play my drums. And then I would go back and forth. You know, I'd put one down, pick one up, put one down, pick one up. I wasn't doing like, okay, I'm going to play an hour a day on my guitar and then go an hour on drums. I was always sort of back and forth between the two. But, you know, I feel like guitar is harder for sure. But it's also way more satisfying. I think it comes down to, you know, if you can play a song for somebody on guitar, they're like, oh, wow, that's great. You said, hey, come listen to this cool beat. And you play a beat, and they're like, that's kind of neat. Okay, that's enough. Right? You can't really play a song for your girlfriend or your wife or your boyfriend or your whoever on drums. And like, I mean, you can play the drum part to a song. That's not really the same thing as like, hey, check this out.
Right. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how many hours we sat listening to Carter Beauford play.
But he was playing
all the Dave Matthews.
But he was playing along to the songs.
Yes. And then that's why I said, okay, I get what you're saying.
It wasn't just the drums and that's it.
Yes. That makes sense.
Because the average person would be like,
yeah,
you just playing the same thing over and over, or, you know, they would.
As soon as you heard that Dave Matthews.
Good Lord.
People peeling out on gravel.
With cattle trailers.
Right. As soon as you heard that Dave Matthews song, it was like, so you knew.
I don't even like the thing I like about Dave Matthews Band is Carter Beauford.
Yeah.
The thing I really enjoyed
I like
about
Dave
it.
Matthews' voice.
Do you?
And just a funky, eclectic, like, it reminds me of being like a young
Kermit the Frog.
You know, it reminds me of my teenage to early 20 years. It just, he has that kind of, when you hear his voice, you kind of have this nostalgia to it because it reminds you of a certain look, a certain time.
Yeah.
It just has that feel to it. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't hate it, but I'm not like, Dave Matthews is a great singer. He's like,
no,
he's not.
I did not say that.
Yeah.
I just like his voice.
It's like Ozzy
or
like
he just has that
it's like Johnny Cash.
That interesting just like sound to it.
He has a lot of character to his voice.
Yes.
It's very distinct.
I can appreciate it. And his weird lyrics.
So I think over the years I've obviously become much more obsessed with guitar and less obsessed with drums. Still play drums quite a bit, teach it every week. I enjoy teaching it, I enjoy playing it, but I think I enjoy the ability to write music and play music on the guitar or the piano or the bass. Well, guitar is, I think guitar is the songwriter's tool. You know what I mean? You can write drum beats on the drums, but drum beats are there to support the music, you know what I mean?
Right.
And just non-stop drum set solos is like, that's kind of cool for a little bit, but you don't buy albums full of just drum solos.
Right.
Usually.
That's true.
Anyways.
That's true.
Enough of that. That was the final question. Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for hanging out and watching us answer questions. Episode 361 of Ask RNA. We're coming up pretty close. 365 episodes. I'm trying to go back through all of them and renumber them so I make sure they're numbered correctly. Because in the playlist, there's not 361 in the playlist. I'm like, did I miss some somewhere? Or do I have my numbering sequence completely off? Who knows? So in all the massive amount of free time I have, I'm going back. I started back with episode number 1 of, it used to be FAQ Friday, and we sort of rebranded that as Ask RNA.
Yep.
So I'm going back compiling. But anyway, you can go watch 300 however many episodes of us answering questions. It's pretty interesting. Me going through and checking the thumbnails and redoing all the stuff and the titles. I'm like, wow. That was a long time ago. We look different.
We've changed.
We've changed. Man.
Yeah.
I think the quality's gone up. That's good. But it's still interesting to see the old us.
Yes, it is.
From back then. Go check that out if you want. Ask a question for next week. So we'll have some questions to answer next week. I hope it's next week.
Yes.
It'll be when we film it is when we do it. And if you watch this entire video, it's time for secret hashtag of the day. It's game time. Game on. Game on. So if you watch this entire video beginning to end, get all that runtime in there. YouTube likes that. The algorithm likes that.
They do.
They continue. So if you're watching us, you feel like you like us, you don't have time, just let it keep playing in the background. Put the video on, just let it play. Help a brother out and a sister. And secret hashtag of the day. Type this with your comment, and we'll know that y'all watched the whole thing and that you're a super legend. Do you have an idea?
Yes.
Okay. I don't. So Angela's going to pick the hashtag of the day. Secret hashtag of the day is hashtag...
Chachalaka.
What? Chachalaka. You're going to have to text that to me so I spell it correctly.
So what the bird is, the loudest bird in Texas.
Loudest bird in Texas. Well, loudest animal? I don't know.
The loud chachalaka.
Chachalakas. Put that with your question or your comment for next week and we'll know. And everyone else who's actually really cool will know that you watched the whole video. So thank you guys so much, and girls. And we'll see you next time. Until then, keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
The music needs you.
And you need the music.
And we need to keep it alive for the next generation.
That's right.
Of Chachalakas. So excited. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye.
Bye. Angela's going to do ukulele lesson videos. Can't wait.
I can do that.
So excited. Everybody wants to learn how to play the ukulele.
And turn off the comments.
Oh, I'll just ban the crap out of people if they're nasty. How about that?
Okay. We could do that.
All right.